Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope everyone is doing well, inshallah. Hope your families are well. Hope everyone can see me, inshallah. Bismillah. So, as we're letting everyone come back or start getting on the call and into our class, we will begin. hmm, We'll begin with a. Hope everyone's doing well, inshallah. Yeah, that's not. We will begin with the Kahoot. Yeah, I'm actually teaching at normally where I would teach 101 and 201. Today I'm unable to teach here. I didn't have to go to Kenton where I teach Miftah Light. So inshallah, I'm going to share my screen as everyone's coming in. We're going to start with a Kahoot that's a review for Mudaf, Mudaf ilayh, and Mawsuf Sifa. The two latest concepts that we've covered were these two concepts: the concepts of descriptive phrase and possessive phrase. So it'll probably take us about 10 minutes to go through it. We'll serve as a recap, and then we'll go ahead and jump into some of the drills from Mudaf, Mudaf ilayh. And then right after that, we'll jump into the concept of Jumla Ismiya, which is a nominal sentence. Inshallah, then we'll also introduce what Sarf is. And from next session's class, we'll have about 4 sessions to cover our Sarf, which inshallah should be enough. But if I do need one more session, I hope you guys won't mind. I'll probably add a session to the end of the year to make sure we cover our content, because I don't want to have any rollover of 101 content into 201. I want you to be able to join 201 having completed the entire book, inshallah ta'ala. Next week there's no classes. We're gonna do the Thanksgiving shukr to Allah for everything we have. Of course, there's Thanksgiving next week. That's one of the reasons. But we also go for Umrah at this time of the year. So we also, just because of that, we also want to be careful. But generally, we always have off on Wednesday and Thursday because of Thanksgiving. People are with their families and so on. Not that I would encourage or not encourage anyone to celebrate it. Inshallah, as you wish to. Spend the day with your family is perfectly acceptable. Thanksgiving is not a religious holiday. It doesn't have a religious orientation, right? No, just Wednesday and Thursday there's no class. Just Wednesday. If I remember, okay, yeah, actually, yes, you're right. Yeah, the classes are off from Monday, Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday. So that 1 week. 19th there is class technically because it's Monday, Wednesday and Thursday. Those 3 days. Make dua for us as well, inshallah. May Allah takes us there with ease and come back with ease as well, inshallah. Okay, we're giving it 5-6 seconds. If everyone can join, inshallah. 10. Bismillah, everyone. Mudaf and Mawsuf review, descriptive phrase and possessive phrase. Okay, these are easy. Some of these are easy. The Mudaf ilayh, second word, can never accept alif lam or tanween. I mean, this one maybe inshallah everyone can get this one right. The Mudaf ilayh cannot accept alif lam or tanween. Bismillah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Hey, what happened here? Mudaf ilayh cannot accept alif lam or tanween. How is that? Okay. The first one is mudaf. The mudaf cannot accept alif lam or tanween. So the first, yeah, I know we don't focus on terminology as much, but the first one is called the mudaf, which is the possession. Kitabu Zaydin, kitab cannot accept alif lam or tanween, but Zayd or talib, kitabu talibin, kitabu at-talibi. The second word, which is a possessor, can have alif lam and it can also have tanween. It's not limited or confined to not having alif lam or tanween. That is the mudaf. So of course I understand that this may have been a terminology kind of confusion, but just move ahead. The boy's notebook is in the backpack. This one is quick, but the rest of them I fixed to make it a minute. So inshallah, if we're not able to get to this, it's no big deal. The rest of them are I added to make it 1 minute. But I do want to just summarize it for everyone. So it says, the boy's notebook is in the backpack, right? The boy's notebook is in the backpack. So the first thing we start off with is it says the boy's notebook. So the mudaf is the notebook. So kurrasa. Kurrasa is the item being owned. Al-walad is boy. So if it says al-kurrasa, it's wrong because the mudaf cannot have alif lam. If it brings walad first, that's wrong because that is the possessor. The possession comes first. Kurrasatu waladin. This is the closest of it. This is close to being correct. Kurrasatu waladin. But why is this one wrong? And by the way, this is a full recap. So we should, even though if we got it wrong, we pay attention, inshallah, it will help us solidify the concept. Why is kurrasatu waladin different than kurrasatu al-waladi? What's so different about these two? Kurrasatu waladin versus kurrasatul waladi. And why is the yellow one correct and the green one incorrect? Great. The English is saying the boy's notebook, not a boy's notebook. A boy's notebook would be kurrasatu waladin. Kurrasatul waladi is correct. Why is al-kurrasatu al-waladu wrong, even though 11 of us chose it? Because this is wrong in so many ways. Number one, there is no form of possession over here. It's wrong because the mudaf can't have alif lam. It's wrong because the mudaf ilayh has to have kasra. But bismillah. What is the translation of the leaf of the tree? Shajara is tree. Waraq is leaf. So think about waraq and shajar. Right? The owner is shajar and the item being owned is waraq. No problem. Take your time, inshallah. Okay, bismillah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The last one, yeah, the last one's okay. The last one was really quick, that's why. Okay. 15 of us chose red. So let's talk about why red is wrong. Anyone want to tell me why red is wrong? What is? We don't even want to focus on the translation. Why is it wrong just based on the flow of it? Why is it wrong based on the flow of it? It starts with al. The mudaf cannot start with al. So it's the same as waraqatu shajarati. But the difference is that it starts with al. And we're told that it cannot start with al. That's why it's wrong. Bismillah. Okay, bismillah. Number 3. The tall girl's key is on the table. There's a lot going on. I would just focus again. Think about where we're talking about key is the possession. This is a lot. This is like a double phrase. Tall girl's key. But one thing we know for sure is that miftah should be coming first. And since miftah is coming first, it should not have an alif lam. So both red and orange are out of the they're out of the picture. Like they can't. None of these can be used. So we have blue and green as options. And then now you can go ahead and make that decision for yourself. MashaAllah. That's actually really good. Because blue is very close. But it says the tall girl, right? So this is mawsuf sifa. So it should be al-binti al-tawilati. And miftahu is the possession. Miftahu al-binti al-tawilati. Miftahu al-binti tawilatun means the girl's key is tall. Because now this would become a predicate, not an adjective. So I'm impressed that, mashallah, we were able to get that one correct. Aslul insani turabun. Is it the origin of humans is dirt, or the dirt of humans is the origin? Asl means origin, insan means human. Humans originate from dirt. The origin is the dirt of humans. I'm not sure what this one means, but the idea is that it's mudaf ilayh. So we want to make sure we keep that in mind. We want to make sure that we know that mudaf ilayh does have an alif lam, so the should make sense here. There's no verb in there, so like originate, that sounds like a verb. We don't have a verb. MashaAllah. Allahu Akbar. That's making my evening. Origin of humans is dirt. Very good. MashaAllah. Okay, Bismillah. True or false? The mudaf will always precede the mudaf ilayh. Mudaf, possession, will always come before the possessor. So I'm giving the English just to make sure that our terminologies are on par. This one we should answer fairly quick. Bismillah, everyone. Mudaf will always come first, everyone. Mudaf will always come first. Kitabu Zaydin. Kitab is the possession. Possession will always come first. Okay, no change in the leaderboard. Let's go ahead. حملت ثقل إثمي. I carried. ثقل means burden. إثم means sin. إثمي means my sin. So I carried my burden, or I carried my sin as a burden. I carried the burden of my sin. Mudaf mudaf ilayh. I carried my burden's sin. Some of these are a little bit more challenging, but that's because, just to give ourselves more exposure to the concept of descriptive and possessive phrases. Okay, I carried. حملت. We haven't covered verbs, so حملت means I carried the burden. ثقل, the burden of my sin, right? Or my sin's burden, not my burden's sin. The possession is ثقل, the possessor is إثم. Oh, slight change. Okay. The love of the Prophet ﷺ is strong in my heart. Love, hub, rasul. Right? So is it al-hubbur rasul? Is it hubbur rasuli? Is al-hubbu ar-rasulu or hubbur rasuli ash-shadidi? Remember that shadid is correct, but are we looking at it as an adjective or as a predicate? Okay, it's interesting. Hubbur rasuli ash-shadidi would mean the strong love of the Prophet. We're saying the love of the Prophet is strong. Love of the Prophet is strong. It's not an adjective in this one. It's not like the tall girl's key. It's saying that the key of the tall the key of the girl is tall. That's what it's saying over here. Shadidun over here is not a sifa. It is. So it's a predicate, which inshallah we're going to talk more about today. What is the translation of قرأت الكتاب الجديد في بيتي? قرأت means I read. I read a new book in my house. I read the new book is in my house. I read the new book in my house. I read the new book in the house. The green one is, I know some of you maybe you can't see it. It's I read the new book in the house. So 2 more minutes, inshallah. 3, 2, 1. Muhammad. My house, correct. Because fi bayti. And green one is the house. That would be the closest one. 9 of us got that one, but that would be fil bayti. This is fi bayti, my house. Possessive phrase, right? Correct choose the correct sifa to complete the sentence. Al-Quran, the Quran is a karimun, al-karimu, karimatun, al-karimatu. They all mean the same thing. This is what it's all about. It's all about choosing the right one, not based on meaning, but also actually based on the right structure. Kitabun is a masculine word. We're not giving an adjective for Quran. We're giving an adjective for kitab. So if I go ahead and choose a feminine adjective, that's completely wrong because kitabun is obviously masculine. Allahu Akbar. Karimun. Karimun. Al-Karimu is if you're giving an adjective for Quran, but we're not giving an adjective for Quran. That would be Al-Quran al-Karimu kitabun. The noble Quran is a book. So red is correct. Karimatun is the wrong gender. True or false? A sifa must match the mawsuf in gender. I mean, this is one of those yes moments. This is an alley-oop for everyone. Yes, they must match in gender. The noun and the adjective must match in gender. Choose the correct mawsuf, the right noun. Something al-kabir fil maghsala. Something big is in the sink. Is it qidrun is again the same word. They're all the same word, but you just have to choose the right the right match. قدرون everyone wouldn't match and it being معرفة. القدور would match in it being معرفة, but القدور is actually um, the plural of it. القدر is معرفة and it's singular. And if you chose القدرة, yes, it's معرفة, but you made it feminine and it doesn't match in gender anymore. This one doesn't match in definiteness. This one doesn't match in gender. This one doesn't match in quantity. The only one that I would be okay with is if you chose the blue one, because that's a hard one because you don't know if it's a plural. Oh, Firas took over. The small candle is on my desk. Don't worry about the words. Worry about the look. شمعة صغيرة. شمعة صغير. الشمعة الصغيرة على مكتبي. الشمعة الصغير على. So the words are all the same. If you're looking at translation, that's not the goal here. What you should be looking at is the flow of them. Bismillah. الشمعة الصغيرة. شمعة صغيرة is a close second, but it's not saying a small candle, it's saying the small candle. Bismillah. Last one. I saw a big cloud in the sky. Again, big cloud is what you're focusing on. Is it as-sahaba kabiran? Looks problematic. Is it sahaban kabiran? Possibly. It is matching. Is it as-sahaba al-kabira? This one is also matching. So blue and orange are both possibilities. Sahaba kabiran, well, this is not a possessive phrase. It's a descriptive phrase. So we don't need it to be like a possessive phrase. So you either choose orange or blue. I mean, or green or red, but preferably either orange or blue. Bismillah. Allahumma salli Muhammad. Bismillah. Let's go ahead. Awesome. Sahaban kabiran. Why would blue be wrong? Anyone? Bismillah. Why is blue not correct? Blue is incorrect because of what? Only one reason. Blue is incorrect for only one reason. It's incorrect simply because exactly. Podium. Allahumma salli Muhammad. Sophia, Brother Uzair. And is it Firas? Oh, wow, mashallah. You guys did great. Allah accept from you. Abdullah Bilal, everyone did great. But I think this is, yes, A Cloud, right? Yeah. I think this is the first time majority of the top people are brothers. There's a change coming. Everyone did well. Allah bless you all, reward you all. Bismillah, I'm going to just quickly spend a few minutes. No, it's Al was the incorrect one. So Al was the incorrect one. It was Sahaban. It was because of the fact that it was A, so it should be Nakira. So Al was wrong. Okay, just to give a few minutes to our actual drills from Mudaf Mudaf ilayh. I'll just do one of each. And if you have a question, please feel free to ask. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna do two of these: the door of the house and the water of the ocean. If you want to share your answer, please share your answer. I hope you had the chance to do your drills because the drills are essential for you to solidify what we are covering. Okay, the door of the house. I know how to say door. That's bab. I know how to say house. So I'm gonna say bab. Bu by default words are rafa. Al bayti. Babu al bayti. The possession cannot have alif lam, cannot have tanween. The possessor always in the status of jar. So babu al bayti. Okay, it's clear. This is water of the ocean. Water of the ocean. Ma'u in ocean in Arabic is bahr. Ma'ul bahri. Ma'ul bahri. Okay. Let's do two of these as well. It says Suburatul Fasl. Please feel free to share this. It can't be al bab because though it's the bab is already in the status of the state of ma'rifa because it's the mudaf. There's no you can't add al to it. Okay, Suburatul Fasl and let's do Baytul Muslimin. Let's do both of these. If anyone can share their answer of what they wrote. Suburatul Fasl and Baytul Muslimin. Yes. Classroom is board, or the board of the classroom. Baytul Muslimin, the house of the Muslims' home. The home of the Muslims or Muslims' home or house. Okay. You had to make a few of your own based on these words. If I was to use Bayt, what would I say? I could say Baytu Talibin. If I was to say Miftah, I could say Miftahu Sayyaratin. Again, my goal is not that I simply use the right words. My goal is that I can use the right combination based on the rules that we learned for mudaf. In other words, the first word cannot have alif lam or tanween. The second word will always have kasra. So I need to make sure that that concept is consistent. So for example, let's use mirsam. Mirsam would be the possession, which means pencil, right? Pencil. Mirsam, mirsamu. This is how a mudaf should look. No alif lam, no tanween. It's very clean. Mirsamu. And now I gave it a mudaf ilay. Mirsamu what? Mirsamu. The most accurate one over here seems like talib. Mirsamu talibin. Mirsamu talibin. A student's pencil. Okay, alhamdulillah. I hope everyone feels more confident about these two phrases that we have covered. Inshallah, we move forward to the next concept. It's called a full sentence. So we made it far, everyone. Alhamdulillah. We started off just talking about how the structure of words are, and now we're talking about how to actually build up sentences. We've covered phrases. We've gone through the different stages of understanding how to create phrases, how to use harf jar, how to use harf nasab, how to talk about pronouns. We've done everything except for actually start covering the details of a full sentence. This is what a full sentence will look like, right? It's called Jumla Ismiya, which is called nominal sentence. Now, what is a Jumla Ismiya? A Jumla Ismiya for us is very simple, right? Since we haven't learned verbs, we're not learning sentences that begin with verbs. Jumla Ismiya is simply sentence that begins with a noun. It gives you a complete thought. It gives you a complete thought, like how a sentence does in English, right? Such as, the boy is smart, or the girl is fast, or the car is beautiful. So if I'm just making a bunch of these sentences in English, all of these are full sentences. What does each of these sentences what do each of these sentences have in common? Number one, subject is ma'rifa. Number two, there's a predicate, and the predicate doesn't have the. It's more of a nakira. So I'm going to write down how to make a full sentence for each of these in Arabic, and you're going to tell me what the commonalities are. Al-waladu, because it's always, the sentence must begin with a ma'rifa noun. Al-waladu is the boy. There is no word for is in Arabic. Nakira is the word. Nakira meaning tanween. Al-waladu dhakiyun. Okay. Al-bintu. البنت سريعة. السيارة جميلة. So if you look at each of these, what's common? Number one, the subject has to be ma'rifa. So every time you see a subject, you see it al. Therefore, when surahs begin in the Quran, if they begin with a noun, they begin with al. Alhamdulillah. Right? It doesn't begin with just hamdun. It's a ma'rifa because its sentences begin with definiteness. Even in the English language, it's hard to begin a sentence without the. It begins with al. And the predicate is always nakira. So each of these, the predicate is nakira. What do you have? You have to make sure everything is in line with each other, except for the subject is ma'rifa and the predicate is nakira. If you were to make the predicate ma'rifa, like al-waladu al-dhakiyu, what problem would you face? Would it be a complete sentence? Would that be a complete sentence? What do you all think? Would that work for us? Why not? Because there you go. Because it would be a descriptive phrase. We don't want a descriptive phrase. We've covered that already. We've inshallah mastered it. We want a full sentence. This is how you would make a full sentence. Just because we've done descriptive phrase, this is much easier for us now, alhamdulillah. Okay, Jumla Ismiya is a sentence that begins with an ism and is made up of two parts. Mubtada, the subject. Just like how in English we have something called the subject, right? The subject is the first word, the thing you are talking about. The khabar is the predicate. The information regarding the subject. The man is truthful, fairly straightforward, like how we have in English. The mubtada comes first, subject comes first, like how the same way we have it in English. The predicate comes second. Nothing that's different for us. Now, bunch of examples. We're going to go through a lot of examples just to make sure that we're on the same page, and then we'll go ahead and ask you to do some of the drills. The reason why this is easy now is A, because we have some vocabulary, inshallah, and B, we've learned the descriptive phrase concept, or else it would be a little confusing. Okay, bismillah. Okay, bismillah. The lesson is easy. Dars is lesson, easy is sahel. Please tell me, we'll do 5 of these, only 5 of them, and we're going to move forward. How do I say the lesson is easy? The lesson. الدرس سهل. الدرس subject ألف لام, natural status which is رفع, in سهل, correct. Not سهلا, سهلون. Yes, it's correct. The window is closed. The window in Arabic is النافذة. It has to match in gender too, right? Window is نافذة. And closed is a word called مغلق. مغلق. مغلق is closed. بسم الله. النافذة مغلقة. مغلقة. We have to make sure the genders are matching. النافذة مغلقة. The door is open. Again, door is easy for us. That's bab. Open is مفتوح. The door is open. الباب. الباب مفتوح. Correct. The house is small. I know how to say house. It's a common word for us now. Beit, small, is also fairly common. Saghir. Let's put these two together. Make a full sentence. We should be able to write full sentences in Arabic. Not just recognize them, but also write them. Of course, the vocab that makes a huge difference. We need to learn the vocabulary as much as we can. البيت. بيت صغيرة. Why not صغير? Why صغيرة? صغير. The lesson is difficult. الدرس صعب. Okay, alhamdulillah. And there's, again, we have pages of examples. I'm going to go to this one because this one is a little bit, it has us thinking about the quantity more. The quantity. The men are strong. The men too. So a rajulu is man, but I have to make sure I get the right quantity. So a rajul is man, qawi is strong. But how do I say it in this quantity? Let's do 3 of these. Or 4. الرجل. Okay. Correct. الرجلان قويان. So quantity has to match. Not just in descriptive phrase, also in a nominal sentence. It has to match. What doesn't have to match, or rather what shouldn't match, is the fact that they both should not be ma'rifa. First one is ma'rifa, second one is nakira. Adjectives are considered to be nouns in Arabic. Yes, they are. They're considered to be ism. الرجلان. Khalid is a player. Khalidun la'ibun. La'ib is an athlete, a player. Someone says, why does Khalid have a tanween? Because Khalid is a name. It's ma'rifa. It doesn't need to have any alif lam. The windows are dirty. 2 windows. So we learned that windows are nafida. So we have to put it in its dual form, making sure that we keep it feminine. A little bit of work to kind of make sure everything is flowing. النافذتان. That's good. That's good. وسيختان. النافذتان وسيختان. Same answer, it would just be plural. Yes, the men are strong. It would be الرجال. The sun is far away. This is easy because it's all singular. الشمس بعيدة جدا. In Arabic, the word جدا means like it adds emphasis. Like for example, if you wanted to say someone is um, extremely tall, you would say طويل جدا. Someone is very small, صغير جدا. Right? So these are different ways that you would go ahead and um, say very. Okay, Bismillah. So we'll stop over here in regards to a jumla ismiya, which is a nominal sentence. And I'm just going to quickly jump up and show you a few more things about how this concept works and how we want to make sure that we do not get confused. The last thing I want to talk about is if it starts with a noun, right? Ar-rajulu. It could be ar-rajulu as-salihu. Ar-rajulu as-salihu. This is also a jumla. This is a mawsuf sifa. Ar-rajulu as-salihu. What I want to show is a full sentence doesn't just mean two words. That's a bare minimum. I can say ar-rajulu as-salihu, and this is just the subject, and I need a predicate. What about ar-rajulu as-salihu? Ar-rajulu as-salihu, you know, قوي. Right now it's a full. So what we want to also understand is that we don't just want to make two-word sentences. We want to go ahead and add more. Bare minimum is two. But let's think about how we can make it longer and lengthier for ourselves. How we can make them bigger and like how we can make them better sentences, right? They don't have to just be two words. So if I go ahead and say like, miftah, miftah, miftah al-muallimi. It's not a full sentence. It's a mudaf ilayh. Yeah, the predicate is also, again, default there is rafa. Default there's always what? Rafa for us. It'll change only if something came before it that changes it. So Miftah al-Muallim. Okay, what about Miftah al-Muallim? What about right now we have two words that formulate a subject. Miftah al-Muallimi في الفصل. Again, this is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because this is the subject. Yes, that's correct, Hamad. في المعلم is the predicate. We don't have to stay just two words. It can be more than two words. اللغة العربية. This is what we would call a موصوف صفة. اللغة العربية subject. من الدين predicate. So the moment I saw that the second word also has alif lam, I understood that it's actually a descriptive phrase because it's matching. So after that, everything was the predicate. So the subject that is not just two words, or the sentence is not just two words. It can be more than that. It just depends on how we want to make it. We can still add more, right? For example, we can make the subject a possessive phrase and make the predicate a mawsuf sifa. Right? Like For example, I could say Zayd's book is, or I can make the subject الموصوف صفة in the predicate المضاف مضاف إليه. في الفصل الكبير مفتاح المعلم في الفصل الكبير. All of these would work. The idea is don't limit yourself from understanding a nominal sentence by putting into the framework that it's only 2 words. There can be much more than that. I'm going to share my screen towards something that I have that I want you all to kind of help me translate. These are actually very hard sentences, right? So I'm going to help you with these. But these are all jumla ismiyas. It's just that they're very long. They're very long jumla ismiyas. There's a lot that's going on. So bismillah, the 2 daughters of the pious mother. Now look at this. It says the 2 daughters of the pious mother are smart. I'll actually go ahead. 1 second. Let me just do this for a moment. Let me actually put it and we do it together. Okay, it says the first one was the 2 daughters of the pious mother are smart. Okay, let's write that together. 2 daughters is mudaf. It's the possession. Of the mother would have been the possessor, but it says of the pious mother. So what's happening here is that the possessor is also a descriptive phrase. So technically it would be bintani. Bintani means 2 daughters. So that part I've done for you. The second part I want you to do for me. Of the pious mother. Now, the simple concept of a nominal sentence is very easy. First word alif lam, second word tanween, subject and predicate. But we want to be able to add to this kind of foundation of ours to build much lengthier sentences. I've always seen people who learn grammar. A lot of us will struggle with writing sentences. Speaking is not necessarily the objective. Understanding is number 1. Number 2 is to be able to write like simple sentences. So from that you can go ahead and speak as well. Of course, vocab is required for this, right? Bintani, 2 daughters of the pious mother. Bintani al is okay? Great. Bintani al-ummi as-salihati. Al-ummi as-salihati. This all together is the subject. Bintani al-ummi as-salihati. Bintani al-ummi as-salihati. That's the subject. Our smart is the predicate. ذكيتان. This would now become a complete sentence. بنتان الأم الصالحة subject, ذكيتان predicate. The rule is if the subject, the mudaf is dual, you actually drop the noon. بنتا الأم الصالحة ذكيتان. Let's do one more. The big dog of the 2 men is very strong. Okay, let's think about this one. The big dog of the 2 men is very strong. How would I write that one? Bismillah. So what's the possession? Big dog. Of two men, right? So kalb is the possession, but it also has a description. So we want to try to see how we can put these together. So it's gonna come. We do this in 2-1, but just generally, as I already mentioned it was bin tani. But whenever the mudaf is dual or plural, the noon drops. Why does the noon drop? Because the noon is similar to tanween. We don't want to have tanween over there. We can't have bintun. We also cannot have bintani. Binta is what we would have. No, reject us. So let's go piece by piece, right? I want everyone to write something. So look, I would tell you what the natural answer you would think of first would be kalbu, kalbu, or kalbun, rajulun, kalbun kabirun. That's what you would say, and then you would go ahead and say rajulani. That is the like that would be a common answer, but it'll be wrong. This would be incorrect for simple reasons, right? Even al kalbu al kabiru would still be wrong. I'm gonna leave this here for us to look at. I'm gonna write the correct answer. Like some of you have written it. Kalbu. Now it's mudaf. Mudaf can have alif lam, can I have tanween. Kalbu الرجلان الكبير. It's very technical. قوي. So what's happening here? I'm gonna blow this up a little bit, make it bigger. كلب الرجلان الكبير. Al-Kabiru is actually the sifa of kalb. If I said kalbul kabiru al-rajulani, it won't work because the mudaf ilay, which is a possessor, is if I was to put al-kalbu kabirun, it would mean the dog is big. So I already have a full sentence. If I was to say kalbun kabirun, a big dog belonging to al-rajulan, it could technically work, but the right way to put it would be kalb, which is a possession, comes first, possessor comes next, and the description comes after that. What could be confusing though, and I want to share this because this is actually, if I show you the slides that I'm using, it's 201. We do cover this in 201, but I wanted to kind of give you a heads up because we can cover the idea of knowing how to write deeper and bigger sentences is quite enjoyable and fulfilling. The only thing that you could get confused by is al-kabiru describing rajulani or is it describing kalb? Right? What is it really describing? That could be the only confusing part of it. But it's very easy to catch because number one, kabir is not dual, it's singular. If it was describing rajulani, it would be al-kabirani. Right? But it's not al-kabirani, it's al-kabiru. So from this we understand that al-kabir is actually describing kalb. Right? So all of this was to kind of simply show us that a jumla ismiya is more than two words. We learned mudaf mudaf ilay, possessive phrase. We learned descriptive phrase. We learned the concept of fi and inna, so that we know that there could be more than two words in a jumla ismiya. There could be 7 words. It could be 10 words, because we're building upon each other. Hope that makes sense. Inshallah, there's of course simple version is very easy, but you want to challenge yourself to write difficult sentences. And at this point, I always tell my one-on-one classes, write with creativity 5 sentences in English without verbs. Yeah, if you say the dog, not the big, the dog of the two big men is strong, it would be the dog of the two big men. كلب الرجلان الكبيران. Right? قوي. It's one dog though. It's not قوي. It's قوي. Yes. You're not saying very strong. You're just saying strong. So you don't need jiddan. If it's very strong, jiddan is only used for something like extremely. Yes, that's correct. Then you have it right. So he's asking if I was the big dog of the two big men, right? So it will be كلب الرجلان الكبيران الكبير قوي. That's how it would be. You will never come across sentences like that though. It's not eloquent to say it like that. Okay, Bismillah, let's open up our drills for a second. To Jumla Ismiya. This is our final set of drills for the Nahwa part. It's quite sad, but quite, inshallah, exciting as well. Okay. Yes, it's Mawsuf and Mudaf. That's possible. It can play both roles. So look, there's like 5 drills for this. Drill 29, drill 30, drill 31, drill 32, drill 33, and drill 34. Drill 29 and 30 are very easy. So let's talk about both of them and summarize them. We've given you the subject. You have to put the predicate. You have a set of words you could use as a predicate, but just use one that makes sense and use it in the right form. And this one is very easy. Just use it in the right form, meaning you can literally go ahead and copy and paste it. نظيف القلم نظيف. السلم means staircase. If you don't know what it means, look in your vocab book, because now at this point your vocabulary does actually make a difference. السلم what? السلم صغير. All we're doing is giving it a predicate. 2-word sentences. This is like it's like a walk in the park for us now. We're used to bigger, lengthier sentences. Al-baytu. What about the house? The house is what? Jamilun. Al-babu. What about the door? Maftuhun. Right? So there's about 20 of these. I feel like you can knock these out with ease, inshallah ta'ala. The next one, what's drill 30? How is drill 30 different than drill 29? There's only one difference, but that one difference is very, very clear. What's different about drill 30 and drill 29? Anyone? Yes. Bismillah. Perfect. Only difference is the subject is feminine. So we want to make sure that the predicate is also feminine. Ash-shamsu, okay? Just choose any one of them. Just make sure it's feminine. Ash-shamsu kabiratun. An-nafidatu nadhifatun. Right? 20 of these as well. This is good practice. This is very, very important practice. I don't think you should do 5 of each. I think you should do all 20 of each. Do every one of these, because by the time you finish these drills, if someone asks you to write 20 sentences in Arabic, you can write them like this. Snap of your fingers, you can do it, because you've reviewed your vocab, and you'll never get the structure wrong. The structure of subject, alif lam, predicate, no alif lam. These are not complicated ones. These are very simple ones. Now, what's different about drill 31? They're all similar. Only one thing different about this one. What's different about drill 31? Drill 31 has a slight change, a slight, difference. They're in dual and plural form. They're masculine and feminine. So now you really have to be aware of how you're using it. You can't just put all feminine or all masculine or all singular. There's a mixture of what's happening. This is probably the most important one so far because it tests you. It actually makes you stay awake and aware. Al-muhandisuna, the engineers subject. What about them? Al-muhandisuna. I can't just put sadiqun. That would be wrong because that's not a full sentence. I need to make sure it's matching. Sadiquna. Al-muhandisuna sadiquna. This is a full sentence. I have to make sure it matches. If I go ahead and say al-banatu, now if I don't know, this is why the first four, the four qualities of a noun are so important because if we don't know them, then we can't really make grammatically correct sentences. Like banatu is feminine, right? Banatu is feminine. We're definitely feminine. It's also plural. So if I was to go ahead and say al-banatu muslimatun, that would be wrong. Why is muslimatun wrong? The girls are Muslim. It's just incorrect. Yes, it is incorrect. Why is it incorrect for? Al-banatu muslimatun is incorrect. Why? Something isn't matching. Al-banatu muslimatun. You have to make sure that as you're making your sentences, you're not compromising the rules of them matching in everything except for the fact that it should not be matching in it being ma'rifah. We need plural. We need plural. Great, great, great. At-tabibani. At-tabibani is dual, masculine. Dual and masculine. So now I need to make sure that any one of these that I'm using, let's use tawid. Any of them would work technically, but I have to make sure it's not alif lam and I use the right structure. Tawilani. At-tabibani. Tawilani. Okay. Bismillah. The next one, some of these are correct. The drill 32 is a little different now. Now, because we've gotten used to building sentences and writing, we still need to know how to identify them, right? So some of these are correct sentences, some of these are wrong. I'm gonna need your help to identify. Majority of these are wrong. Okay, so we have to make sure we can correct them. So it takes a little bit more work rather than just building them. That we have to actually take what we have and correct it. So for example, why would number 5 be incorrect? Number 5, al-musafirina raji'ina. Why is that wrong for? Al-musafirina raji'ina. The travelers are returning. It translates correctly, but it doesn't flow correctly, grammatically. It has al, so it's not al. It's not the al that's a problem. No, if it had al over here, then it would be wrong because that would be a descriptive phrase. We learned that a subject should be status musafiruna raji'una. Al-musafiruna, not in the rafa. That's correct. It's not in the rafa status. That's the only thing that is wrong with it. It's actually almost perfect. Okay. Why is number 6 wrong? I mean, number 6 looks okay to me. Maybe this is amongst those ones that are actually correct. Maybe it's not wrong. I'm actually pretty convinced that this seems pretty legit. Al-baytu kabiratun. We have ourselves a full sentence, everyone? There you go. You guys just don't nod you guys don't just nod your head when I say something, which is good. It's wrong because al-baytu kabirun. Gender was off. Some of them are very clear, but some of them actually require you to like look at it. Let's see this one. Al-hadiqati al-wasi'ati. Yeah, number 5. Raji'una, yes. So I corrected this as well. Just the default, yes. Nothing else. Al-hadiqati al-wasi'ati. What's off about this? It's actually a good structure, but it's not what we're looking for. Because al-hadiqati al-wasi'ati is something else that we learned. It's mawsuf sifa. It's a descriptive phrase. It's a descriptive phrase. Great. Alhamdulillah. Okay, this one right here is going to require, there's 30 of them. It's going to require some time. Your vocabulary needs to be a little bit strong, and you have to have the ability to be patient and just write these sentences on your own. You're translating from English to Arabic. Till now, we've done Arabic to English, Arabic to English, Arabic to English. Now we're saying, okay, we've made progress. Let's go ahead and put English to Arabic. The school is open. المدرسة المدرسة المفتوحة مفتوحة. Friends are truthful, right? The doctors are old. So you would go ahead and look for the word and translate it correctly with the right gender, the right quantity, and of course making sure that you keep it at the default status, which is rafa. So this is one that would require some time. Making sure, again, it's a recap of everything we've learned, all the different qualities of a noun, and making sure that we're making the right word, that we're making the right dual pattern. We're not adding the wrong letters to it. Let's do number 3. The boys. Al-awlad. Al-awladu are truthful. Can you all help me with how to give this a predicate? The boys are truthful. Truthful is sadiq. The boys are truthful. Sadiq is okay. Would that be sufficient? That would not be sufficient. Al-awladu sadiquna. Because you have to make sure it's plural. So this is drill 33. Now this is the last one. We added, I really wanted to make sure that we pump up enough drills in this to give us enough strength to feel comfortable with closing off our Nahwa 101 and beginning Sarf. What's different about drill 34 and drill 33? Not much. The only thing different about it is that the sentences are not just 2 words. they're like 3 words or four words based on the fact that there's mudaf, mudaf ilayh, or there's a descriptive phrase a part of it. Like for example, al-qamaru al-jamilu. It could have been just what? Al-qamaru fi sama, but it's al-qamaru al-jamilu fi sama. So there's a little bit more that you find here. So this is one that also would require a little bit of time, some patience. But alhamdulillah, you guys, it fits in the right time. We don't have class next Wednesday. So you technically have 2 weeks to do these drills. So just take your time and really try to finish these drills, which would recap your entire 101 journey for Nahu. Inshallah, when we start next Wednesday, we'll be doing 101 Saf, inshallah. So, mabruk to all of you that we finished 101 Nahu. I hope you feel confident about it. I hope today's session did not add to anyone's confusion, but rather it gave some more clarity to why we learned everything that we've learned till now. And I would hope that inshallah you all feel more comfortable about your content. Any questions? Any questions at all? Comments, suggestions? Please feel free to share, inshallah. So just as we finished our 101 Nahwa, I would expect that the Nahwa 101 workbook is also fairly full. If you don't have the physical book, then I'm sure you were doing it on your computer or you were printing the pages. My point is that inshallah, that we're doing the drills, right? Doing the drills is not nafal, it's like wajib. So I would hope that we're doing it, inshallah. May Allah bless you all, reward you all. Let's do a quick out of 10. Where are we? For Jumla Ismiya, for Nam. Why do we not do verbal sentences? Because we haven't learned verbs yet. For the moment we learn verbs, we'll talk about sentences that have verbs in it too. We want to make sure that we close off with summarizing everything, not adding more things that we don't know. Allah bless you, Habibi Hamza. Make dua for us too. Allah takes us with ease and brings us back with ease. Okay, it's not bad. Okay. Please watch the class again and do the TA session if you're under 5. We can watch it again or do the TA session or just start doing the drills right away. Alhamdulillah, was there. Anyone else noticing these drills while reading the Quran? Has anyone else caught the flow of this? Allah allow us to continue enjoying this process. We started now, inshallah we continue as long as Allah allows us to continue. Teach people around you, let them know the beauty of learning Arabic, help them learn it yourself, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah bless you all, reward you all. For those that are, some people may be going for Umrah as well. If you're not going for Umrah, please make dua our journey goes well. And if you, inshallah, for those of us that are going, we'll keep all of you in our du'as. I'll make sure to remember all of you in my dua as well, inshallah. If you haven't made plans for winter break, come join us for Seerah Intensive. It'll be really enjoyable. Inshallah, we'll have a good time. And we'll learn the life of our Habib sallallahu alayhi wa sallam together. Jazakallah khair everyone. Allah bless you and reward you, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hajj, we don't know yet. I mean, if Allah takes us, we'll be more than happy to go for Hajj. It depends on how things work out with the way they've restructured their process. May Allah accept, inshallah, everyone. Please make dua for us. We'll see you all soon, inshallah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.